Welcome back, viewers. The countdown to Sunita Williams' homecoming has begun. Astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, who are stuck at the ISS, that's the International Space Station, for over 9 months, they've begun their journey today, that return journey we all had been waiting for. According to NASA, Williams and Wilmore have undocked and they are set on a 17-hour-long trip back to the Earth. The spacecraft, Elon Musk-led SpaceX's Dragon, will splash down off the coast of Florida at 3:27 a.m. IST. On Wednesday, the true astronauts flew to the orbital lab in June last year on what was supposed to be a days-long round trip to test out Boeing Starliner on its first crewed flight. However, the spaceship developed propulsion problems, remember, and it was deemed unfit to fly them back and instead returned empty. We are tracking a major space event as NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and also Butch Wilmore are preparing to return to Earth after a prolonged stay at the International Space Station. The journey back home is obviously and always a highly coordinated and a precision-driven process involving a series of critical maneuvers before a safe splashdown in the ocean. So, what exactly will this return look like? Let's break it down for you step by step. What is undocking going to look like? At this stage, the spacecraft carrying Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore will be detaching from the International Space Station. This maneuver is executed with precision using a combination of automated and manual thruster adjustments to ensure a smooth separation. Once it's undocked, the spacecraft will be drifting away from ISS under the influence of Earth's gravity, moving into a safe trajectory for its re-entry. What happens next? NASA will switch on to audio-only coverage after undocking. Mission Control will continuously be monitoring the spacecraft position and adjust as necessary. In fact, these astronauts, viewers, will be conducting system checks and also they'll be preparing for the next phase of the deorbit burn. Now, what is deorbit burn? What I just mentioned, this is one of the most critical moments of the return mission. The deorbit burn is when the spacecraft's thrusters fire and they fire for a precise duration to slow down the vehicle. You can see the live visuals also, viewers, as we were telling you. Now, world obviously is awaiting that epic, comeback, and you can see now this is the visuals, as you can see, of the undocking. The live visuals coming in. Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore leaving for Earth. Remember, viewers, after 9 months on the ISS. This is a very, very crucial step far as that mission is concerned. Stranded astronauts, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore to return to Earth. Obviously, the world is keeping their fingers crossed. She's begun a long-awaited journey. She's undocked. Sunita Williams, to put it very, very simply, for the viewers tuning in, Sunita Williams is undocked from the space station, which basically, in simple and layman terms, what does this mean? That her journey to Earth, the journey of these stranded astronauts back home, their journey to return home after 9 long months being stranded at the space has finally begun. This has marked an extraordinary, milestone in that journey. As we were telling you earlier, giving you a backgrounder, they were stuck in, space for 9 long months. And the initial phase, it looks like, obviously, all is going as planned. You can see the live visuals also coming in. NASA obviously has been telecasting all these visuals also live. Astronauts Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore, who have been stuck at the International Space Station for more than 9 months, they have begun that journey today. Okay, so you can take a look at these visuals, the live visuals coming in, from NASA also. NASA obviously has been showing these visuals live. They've been telecasting and, giving us every crucial aspect of this entire journey. Astronauts Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore, they are stuck at the International Space Station for 9 months. They've begun their journey back home. According to NASA, Williams and Wilmore have undocked and they've set on a 17-hour back trip to Earth. The spacecraft, that's Elon Musk-led SpaceX Dragon, it's going to be splashing down the coast of Florida at 3:27 a.m. That's going to happen today, and I'm speaking in IST. The true astronauts, remember, had flown into the orbital lab in June last year. It was supposed to be, a days-long round trip. They were going to test the Boeing Starliner. Remember, this is the backgrounder. But the spaceship that had developed some propulsion problems, it had been, stuck in space for a very, very long time. And right now, finally, what is happening, the live visuals you are seeing, what do these visuals visuals say? What are these visuals, which you are seeing, viewers, at the moment? This is the Crew 9 and their SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. They've departed the space station and they've started their journey back to Earth. So that's very, very significant. These visuals which are coming in. Crew 9 and their SpaceX Dragon spacecraft departing. That journey has begun home. In very simple terms, far as Sunita Williams is concerned, that undocking process has happened. That journey back home has finally begun. All right, viewers. All right, we will be talking about this in detail. We'll also be bringing in experts who will help us understand really in layman's term what exactly is happening. When is Sunita Williams, going to return to Earth? That timing, date, timing, everything obviously has been, revealed already by NASA. NASA astronauts, as we were telling you, viewers, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore, they've undocked from the International Space Station. They've marked the end of that extraordinary 9-month journey being stuck in space. The mission, remember, initially planned as a brief 8-day test flight. It was extended due to these technical errors, and right now that journey back home has begun. Manish Purohit is joining us live on the broadcast. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Can you help us understand the significance, of these live visuals coming in the undocking process? That, extraordinary 9-month-long journey of being stuck in space looks like that's finally ended, and Sunita Williams, other stranded astronauts, obviously headed home.
Yeah, so actually, for any space travel of an astronaut to the International Space Station, there are 3 phases. The first one is going to the International Space Station. Second one is staying on the International Space Station. And the third one, the most challenging, is making our way back home. So right now, if you talk about Sunita Williams, the first phase was full of hiccups when Boeing Starliner was facing some issues, and finally they were stuck there. They were supposed to be there for 8 days now. For more than 9 months, they were there on the International Space Station. Now, when they are coming back in this Dragon module, so what we have seen since morning is that they were donning their spacesuits and they were getting ready, doing the checks for the vehicle, that everything is perfectly fine. Then they got into the Dragon module, hatches were closed, and then we see the visual here when the Dragon is moving away from International Space Station. Now, right now, at this moment when we are talking, at this moment, the Dragon module is aligning itself for the final burn to phase itself for the orbit, because now it's going to take around 18 hours from at this moment, around 18 hours to land back on Earth. So what are the steps involved? So see, actually, it's not as simple as that you just turn around and take a dip and make a re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. No, everything is well calculated and well planned so that the stress loads on the vehicle and the stress loads that the astronauts will face is minimal. Because when we re-enter into the atmosphere, huge amount of heat is generated. And the vehicles are designed in such a way that at a particular angle they have to re-enter so that minimum loss of efficiency happens. So for that alignment on all, we have to wait for 18 hours. So from 18 hours from now, we might be getting the good news of splashdown and Sunita Williams making back way home.
Well, absolutely. And, I'm going to read out what NASA is saying, sir. And if you could just help us understand in layman's terms also, what exactly does it mean that Crew 9 is undocked from the space station? So finally, the journey back home has begun. Help us understand, how significant this undocking process is, first of all.
See, actually, what happens when a crew module flies to the International Space Station, it rendezvous and docks with the International Space Station and becomes a part of it. It gets connected to the mainframe, the system of the International Space Station. Then, like the visual right now you are getting, the cap is open and there is a hatch that opens and the astronauts move from the crew module into the International Space Station. Now, when we have to make the journey way back home, then astronauts get into the crew module, then hatches are closed, and then the thrusters are fired. So if undocking process sees any hiccups, it's a completely automatic process. But if undocking process creates any hiccups, any glitches, then that is a very big issue, because if you're not able to get away from the International Space Station, then rest of the phase becomes a big problematic area, because the first thing is get away from the International Space Station, undock from it, then start firing your engine so that you align yourself to make a re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. So the very first step of coming back on Earth is undocking. It is the most vital step of whole process of bringing Sunita Williams back home.
significant process that has begun. Thank you, sir, for explaining us really, the latest visuals coming in and also putting it, in layman's terms for us. So viewers, as we were telling you, that journey which we all had been, awaiting for has finally begun. We will bring you each and every update related to Sunita Williams' returns. As of now, stepping into a short commercial break.